would have gotten 7.5.
Was that the only avenue you had to speak to the Kenyans?
It was a good avenue for people who don't come for public rallies, and there are many. There are people who don't come for public rallies. The ones who come to public rallies, we had an opportunity to engage them. I told you that time, and I repeat today. We are not discussing individuals. It's a policy direction.
Fair enough.
It's a policy intervention. Yes, we'll have a commission to look into state capture and conflict of interest, which in our view is responsible for the economic quagmire we are in, which in our view is largely responsible for the economic crisis this country is having, which we have confirmed is responsible for the poverty that the people of Kenya are undergoing. And even if we don't want to pin anybody down, we would like that so that there can be recommendations, so that in future, state capture and conflict of interest will never again impoverish a country. You know, that is the purpose, as we are not interested in individuals. And by the way, we have no problem with our outgoing president, Uhuru Kenyatta. We wish him well in retirement. And in fact, myself, you know, he's my buddy for 20 years. When things settle down, I'll look for him. We catch up all times. Because this was all politics. It's nothing personal. The politics are over.
Sometimes it also felt like sometimes there was something there.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing personal. This was all politics. He wanted this way. I wanted this way. I've won. He has lost. We move on. And now look for him for a cup of tea. We have a chat and catch up on the good old days.
I want to get to some of the questions before we bring this to a close, because numerous questions, and I want to thank everyone who has taken time to tweet in at Sophia Wananu this evening. And I will start. Oh my, there's so many. Okay. So there's Bernard Tong. He's asking, will you make public the SGR contract? President Uhuru promised to make it public. There's been opaqueness there. Will this administration make public the SGR?
Yes, we will. And I'm sure it will come up with the Commission on State Capture. It will be a subject of discussion. It's an interesting.
But the contract is there, so you can make it public.
What I'm saying, yes. Even if we don't, probably the best way to make it public is in that commission, so that Kenyans can interrogate it. It's a public document. Kenyans are entitled to know exactly what were the details of that contract.
All right. Then there's another question here from Mercy Luguda, and she's talking about conflict of interest when public officers do business with government. How will this administration deal with that? Because that's why we have a lot of corruption.
I've told you, we are going to have a commission to look into conflict of interest. It is not just limited to state capture. It's even, it will cover even all that person is raising.
But
we must look at it in totality.
Part of the problem, because it cannot be everything, to that commission, is that wealth declaration is this in this country. It's a mockery, to the extent of it being a mechanism that then can hold folks to account who are in public office.
Agreed.
They put these things in envelopes, and then so how then, and this of course through the legislators who will be meeting, that you ensure it's vibrant and ensuring there's this transparency and folks are held to account, as opposed to ticking boxes that we've done.
I agreed, and I think our legislators need to look into it. And for those of us who are open, like myself, I'll in due course be saying I'm Deputy President, so that nobody can follow me after. I've told you I owned this home 24 years ago. I was just somebody small there. And therefore I say this, I own, so I have not owned it because I'm Deputy President. I will not have owned this after 5 days. I think it's a good thing for people to declare their wealth, especially wealth that has been gotten in the proper way. I think it's a good thing, but let our legislators look into it, spice it a little bit, and make it more intensive and enhance the scrutiny.
But would you, as yourself, make commitment that, because it has to also start from the top, leading by example. In the past, you have done business with state agencies. Now you are here, you're the Deputy President, the issues that have been there are being dealt with in court, but to come strongly so that it can be done from the very top, that we will not, and it becomes policy across,
I think it's a good policy. For me, as Rigathi Gachagua, I want to tell the people of Kenya that I will not do business with the government. I have actually handed over 1 or 2 companies to my son to continue doing what I was doing. I want to spend all my time serving the people of Kenya. The salary that I'll get is enough for me. I don't